Right, Dimorphism and Ammonites. That was done by a chap called John Callman, who was a friend of mine who's now sadly died. Basically, it's the difference between, how do you tell the difference between the male and female Ammonites. Now, he came to the conclusion, I think he's quite right, that actually the females doing the more important job of laying the eggs and doing everything else were much larger, and the males are much smaller, because all they're really useful for is fertilisation. Don't go to the human race on that, but that's what it is for these things. And interestingly, it wasn't accepted originally, but it is now. Okay. So when you're collecting Ammonites and you're collecting on one bedding plane, often what you'll find is you'll find lots and lots of small ones, and perhaps a few bigger ones. And of course, this guy worked out that actually they weren't different species. He worked out that they must have been the sort of male-female thing. And I think he's proved that beyond doubt to most people, and I think it's generally accepted. So if we accept that theory, which I do, we have a bit of a problem in the Kim's clay. So here's the female up here, you see. Now if you look at the female, the ribs are regular all the way around to a certain point, okay, and then they become coarser. Okay, so that's how we sort of identify the females. And then you look at the male, the ribbing is regular all the way around, right round to the end of the body chamber. And then the male is either distinguished, it's got a horn, especially from the upper Kim's clay, or a lappet, that forward-looking projection on that one there from the lower Kim's clay. But then we get to the sort of upper Kim's clay, and at certain levels we get in little bits of a problem. If we accept that theory, we're getting, there's an Ammonite up there, and you can see it's got coarser ribbons, so we assume it's a female, it's quite large. Associated with that are these horns, okay? Now they only occur on the sort of male, so why are we getting those? That's the sort of problem. So there's a male facet on a female Ammonite. And there's, just to prove it's not an anomaly, we've got other ones as well. There's another female there that's actually been predated, but you see she's got a horn. Okay. So add to the confusion, there's another one there, not very well preserved, but you can see, we think the ribs are fine all the way round. And instead of having one horn, it's got 5. What are they there for? Why? And why are these females got these horns? So there is some thought, and it may or may not be correct, but if you look at the female up to a certain size, so the ribbon's regular, there's some thought by some academics that there might have been a paucity or of the rate, there might not have been enough males or females or whatever, so it would get to a certain size and it could actually change its sex to suit what it needed, you know what I mean, to make up that difference. Whether that's correct or not, we don't know, but how do you explain these features? So that's a feature that no academic has yet looked at. They've recognised it, but no one's ever come to the conclusion or given us a good theory of why we're getting that anomaly.